Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Looks like day 7. Good morning. This cough has to go. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Mom, for the heart me. My allergies are kicking this morning. I think the coffee with the creamer don't help. I think it makes the cough worse. I'm just sitting here waiting for the trial to start. What are y'all doing this morning? You got your coffee? Good morning. Good morning. We're just waiting. Hopefully it starts quick this morning. If anybody wants to come up in the box, they can. All I ask is that you mute during the show. Who has their coffee? Good morning, Colton. I see your dad peeping around in here sometimes. I don't think he realizes that it's me, so I just leave him alone. I know, right? Good morning, Brenda. Is everybody ready for the trial? I'll be honest with you. Good morning, Sam. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. Just doing some dishes really quick.
Girl, I went to bed at 7:45 last night, and I woke up at 8:30. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be late for work. Good morning, Suzanne. And I realized it was still nighttime.
Oh, that's good.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How you doing?
So I talked to my guy yesterday, and he
To
is
who?
willing. He's willing to come on.
Oh,
Um,
you did.
I
Okay.
did. He told me a lot of stuff, and apparently, right now he's living in a house kind of like the Sider's house was, like really bad.
Yeah.
And then I found out the charges on his wife. Yeah, it's like, and there's things that he told me that I like can't unsee because I do like his father-in-law's hair. He's like, yeah, I get there yesterday or day before yesterday, and he's sitting in the recliner in a diaper. I said, a diaper? He's like, yeah, one of those pull-up things. I said, what the hell are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, he doesn't like to get up. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? And I'm like, oh God, there's some things I wish he wouldn't have told me.
Oh, yeah. Gross.
But
Wait,
I was just
the guy,
laughing.
the guy that you cut his hair, that was him sitting in a diaper? What?
The
No,
father-in-law.
his father-in-law was.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
She cuts
But
the
there's nothing wrong
father-in-law's
with
hair,
him.
too.
No, there's nothing wrong with him. He's like not much older than me. So I'm laughing. I'm
They're just
laughing.
crazies.
And he's
That's
like, why are you
funny.
laughing? I knew you would laugh. And I said, because that's all I do. And he said, I know.
I'm having coffee.
I'm having hot coffee this morning instead of iced coffee. I won't let go off.
I need to get my Ninja coffee pot out of the shed.
Mine
I'm
broke.
about done. Really?
Yeah,
I'm
I
about done
broke
with
it in
my.
my last move.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I'm about done with cold brew. I'll just say that.
Why?
I'm just sick of it.
I go back and forth.
Yeah, I'm ready for hot coffee.
Yeah.
Well, I told Chris, I said, the Ninja is way too big right now for our counters. Oh, no, it's fine. I'm like, it takes up the whole counter. So, I'm like, whatever. So, I might even get like a cheap little small one so I don't have. I don't know. I'm just complaining right now, so.
That's all right. It's morning. At least it's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Fruit Loops. Ugh. I like Fruit Loops, but I don't know. I guess I've just never really been a cereal fan.
I like Frosted Flakes.
Yes, you can come up, Colton. Just when the trial starts, you got to mute or jump down.
Hello.
Hey, Colton.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Working.
Are you at work and on the phone?
I mean, I'm out in the parking lot.
You're not supposed to be on the phone.
I'm bored.
Don't you lose your job.
I won't. I can be on the phone.
All right.
It's moving day.
I know for all the colleges. It is, it is. So what is your job title?
Parking.
Oh, well, you shouldn't be bored then.
I know. I'm just directing people where to go.
I can hear all the vehicles. You better do your job and not get in trouble.
Okay.
All right. I love you and you have a good day, okay?
Okay.
All
Have a
right.
good day, Colton.
Bye.
Bye.
And be
Bye.
safe.
Okay. I love you.
You better.
Oh,
All right. See you, baby.
Bye.
Bye.
Sweetie.
he's cute.
He is very sweet.
So, who I posted a clip from the trial, and I'll tell you what, these people saying Patrick, I almost said Patrick Dempsey, Patrick Clancy is guilty, is cracking me up. I'm almost to the point. I'm like, okay,
Oh, same here. I can't stand that.
You see the video I sent you this morning?
yes, I did. It's they're thinking, and I don't know, and I am not a lawyer. I don't work in the law, but what they are thinking is going to happen is nearly impossible. Oh, Kevin is going to do this, and then he's going to go after Patrick. That's not how it works. That is not how it's going to work, you guys. Sorry. It's not a movie, and that she's confessed. It's either guilty by insanity or first degree. That is it. Once this is over, that's all. They're not going to go after Patrick. I'm sorry. She's already confessed. Regardless if you think he did it or not because he changed his shoe and had a full zip down hoodie, but you can't really tell if it's a full zip down hoodie and the shoes look the same to me, but it's just the lighting, but whatever.
Did you hear this morning that Siders Jr., or not Jr., but Senior got released to his daughter?
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
I'm going to check into it because I haven't verified it, but I overheard it this morning in a live.
Lisa goes, the whole FYP is saying he is involved. The switch up is wild. I know. It's so.
Did you hear what they were saying her wrist marks are from? From a dog?
Oh,
What?
jeez.
I heard that this morning, and I'm listening to it live, and I'm like, those marks on her arm is not from a dog. If I didn't say anything in the chat, I just let it go. I'm like,
There's
don't even.
just so much misinformation, and you can debunk it. Like Google. If you
Yeah,
Googled
they
it.
were saying Patrick was wearing two different shoes from CVS to the restaurant.
It's the lighting. It's the
Yeah,
light.
exactly.
I watched
They're the
that, and
same
then they
shoes.
and then they said the zip up. He was wearing a half zip up and and then a full zip up. Well, you can't
Right.
tell with the lighting. The top part could be flashing because of like the fluorescent lights in CVS, and it's the same color. So I'm gonna think that's probably a full zip up in both videos.
Well, and not only that, it's like snowing and it's icy. Maybe he got cold and zipped it up the rest of the way. Like, damn.
Yeah.
uh, I just have to laugh at some of it.
Yeah, no, I do think Patrick has a form of blame when it comes to negligence for sure.
Yeah. But, sometimes we can't. I don't know. It's hard to even say that to a point. I mean, he started working from home. He was,
He's
taking.
been working from home since 2018 though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and she told him and he admitted that she wanted to hurt the kids. And that's where I'm saying negligence on his.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. I just don't understand why people can't see. If she was going to do this and planned it, she would have did it when he was gone for hours at luncheons or out of town, or not when he went to get food and X-Lax. I could see why they had to hire a nanny. I mean, he had to work from home, and if she was having a hard time, I mean, he's got to support the family. Yeah, he probably that's men. They expect you to just get over it, and they don't realize it. So, and that's where his downfall was.
Got a pile of clothes you never wear anymore?
Oh, sorry,
Turn them into cash with Vinted.
I'll move it away.
Let's try it on. Easy. Once it sells, the buyer covers shipping. And with zero seller fees, you keep every dollar you earn.
I don't know, but I've never seen so many sidebars in my entire life. I think the judge is already over it. He's like, let's just get this done. I kind of
Told the prosecution they're not going to take out all the testimonies. Like they need to speed this up too with these people that they have coming to testify.
yeah. What did they have? Like over 200?
Yes.
Hey, Sonny, do you know your? Yeah, she knows who's up here. I have been letting different people up, guys, just to have like an open panel. 'Cause I don't want anybody to think that they can't be a part of the conversation. But if you guys request up and you definitely want up during the trial or whatever, just be sure and put it in the chat that you do want up. Because a lot of people I'll let just sit there because I feel like they're tapping and they accidentally requested. Jen said, we love Miss Rachel.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we are a Miss Rachel in a Blippy household, that's for sure. Miss Rachel's been a saving grace. Like she deserves a Medal of Honor. She deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. Like I love her.
MJ, yes, we're just waiting for him to come on. And they're late. I don't even know that he cheated, honestly. I mean, I feel like he, should have had more responsibility or took more responsibility. But I can't say that he cheated. I don't know.
I don't think there's enough. I think if there was evidence of that, that the prosecution would aim it towards he cheated and that's why she wanted the kids gone to get back at him.
Right.
Absolutely
Exactly.
would have been
Right.
brought up. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. And a lot of people want to know why she took her proxy away from him. And I'm sorry, but my opinion in that, if I unalived my kids and their father, I wouldn't want him over my medical. It should start any minute, Paris. I wouldn't want him over my medical because I'm going to be the next one gone. I promise you that. I don't know. It's wild. But I think the judge has already made up his mind. If you, in my opinion, I
Uh,
don't. I don't think she'll do any prison time.
no, I think she'll get off on insanity, which she still is admitting to guilt. I don't think Patrick is going to be charged either. It's he could be a shitty person. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
It I'm not saying he's not or he is, but um I'm also saying if it was like a serious thing as cheating or anything he did, I tell you what, prosecution is going to pull that and they're going to leverage that to be the reason why she took those kids to get back at him. They don't really have evidence of premeditation.
That's a
The
good point.
premeditation they're trying to debunk is her mental health, which everybody's stating, no, she said she was, not feeling well, that she was depressed, that she was on medications.
I just
So,
a lot of times when people hear that over and over again, but then they see their daily life, they kind of dismiss it and feel
Yeah.
like, oh, it's not that bad. I can go here or I can go there. Nothing's gonna happen.
yeah, like Pink Luna said, in the end, it could just be he's just maybe was not a great husband.
Right.
And somebody said, well, I saw somebody say, he worked from home and they hired a nanny. Yeah, I've worked from home full time and I had to have somebody watch my baby. I
Yeah.
couldn't hold my baby and work. And there,
Right.
because you're on team meetings and stuff, you typically when you work from home, if some people can, and that tell me what job that is, where you can have the kids around. But a lot of times, places, you know, I worked at Xfinity and stuff like that. They make you have a room with the door closed.
Yeah. Well, look at some of our live big creators, and I can't think of his name, but he just does cooking shows, and they have a nanny that comes in every day.
Right.
Not that he's a bad parent, just that they need somebody to watch the kids. I think he's adopted like 6 or 7 kids, him and his partner.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think that's smart. Like give your kids the attention that they need and give your what you're earning money to provide what you need at that time.
I think is what's really cool with him is they have a glass room in the middle of the house,
Oh wow.
and he can see what the nanny's doing with the kids at all times. I'm like, well, that's ingenious.
It is.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
My
But
aunt, she nannied in New Jersey for no, New York,
good
for
morning.
this family and they really liked her, but she wanted to come home. She was like 19, but she nannied for two little ones.
You want to know who was my babysitter?
Oh gosh, who?
Don Johnson's mother.
Mm, no way.
Yeah, not that I knew anything about him then. I was young, but yeah, yeah. Don Johnson's mama was my babysitter. Mm-hmm.
My babysitter, they had ponies that and they, I think they kept them at like a ranch, and they'd bring the ponies, and we get to ride ponies sometimes because they lived across the street from a park.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, and I was, she did face um, Halloween makeup and stuff, and I was on the cover of the newspaper as a bunny when I was like 2, with my face
Aw,
painted. Yeah,
that's cool.
but no Don Johnson.
No Don Johnson.
No.
I remember that. I was young. Of course, he's older than me. Think I was like 8 or 9.
They're running late, Nat. Oh, really?
Yeah. So I remember, but I don't remember.
Was she nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister was mine after a while. My parents were like, "Oh, you're old enough, Kayla. You can not watch, but watch."
they're live now, but they're just I mean, it's just showing the sidebar. So it should be anytime. Yeah.
My best friend from middle school, her sister was born when we were 13, 14, 13. And she babysat my son. Her mom was home, but I had her babysit my son. She was 16, and she was the best babysitter when I was at work. Yeah.
That's awesome. I remember babysitting for one of my teachers, which was really weird because she had a set of twins, and I would go like after school just for like an hour or two, and she had a heart-shaped bed.
Hey, that's cool. That's very 80s.
Yeah, it was. Weird to think I was babysitting like at the age of 13, 14, and then got pregnant on purpose at 15 and had my son a month after I turned 16.
Oh.
To see this concert. I quit my job!
They keep bringing on these commercials. I can't pause or I won't know when they go live.
Let me pause. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. No, I said I can't pause this or I don't know when they go live.
Well, I just figured everybody didn't want to hear Miss Rachel.
Oh,
Say good morning, Keenan.
good morning, Keenan.
Hi, Keenan.
Good morning, Goat.
Session, please be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor. May I proceed?
Yes, please.
Okay, here we
Before
go.
the court today, we have the matter of Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy. Ms. Clancy is present. She is represented by Attorney Kevin Ruddington. The Commonwealth is represented by Assistant District Attorney Jennifer Sprague and Assistant District Attorney Shannon Buckingham.
All right. Well, good morning, counsel.
Morning.
Hi, good morning, Miss Clancy. All right, counsel, can I see it sidebar?
Starting out with the sidebar.
Already? Like, shit. Hey guys, here in a minute, Sam and Suzanne, if you guys can take care of the panel and everything, I have got to jump in the shower for work. And I'm just going to apologize ahead of time if a commercial comes on in the middle of it.
That's fine.
Okay. And I got my new Wow Dream coat I want to try. I know they should have. They're already 16 minutes late. You would have thought that's what they were doing.
Watch, they're going to end early.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want a donut?
Yeah, I'll take one. Do you have a glazed donut?
I do.
Okay.
Yummy.
Can you put some butter on it and put it in the microwave for me?
Sure, and then I'll teleport it to you.
Okay, thank you.
You
Oh my
want
God.
this?
I've been watching some of my clients get scammed, and I've been trying to tell them. But these people contacted them, and it was supposed to be from the what do you call it? The publisher clearinghouse, and they wanted them to open another bank account, and I'm like, don't do that. And well, we won $1 million. I'm like, don't do that. And then they ended up telling them that they needed to go rent this storage building and all this stuff was gonna. I'm like, don't go do that, but they did it anyway. And now she missed her appointment yesterday because of some things going on, and so now yeah, so now I'm like, what in the world, was going on? So I'm like, dang. Yeah.
Why isn't ABC News on? I'm not sure, but Law and Crime and
I'm on Court TV. Here they
Court
come.
TV. Yep.
They're back.
What color bow is that idiot wearing today?
Good morning to everybody coming in.
Hey, all persons having anything to do before the Honorable William Sullivan, Justice, Supreme Court now sitting in Plymouth, is it before the Commonwealth. Draw near and give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This court is now in session. Please be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor. May I proceed?
Yes, please.
Your Honor, before the court today, we have a continuation of the jury trial in the matter of Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy. Ms. Clancy is present. She is represented by attorney Kevin Reddington. The Commonwealth is represented by Assistant District Attorney Jennifer Sprague and Assistant District Attorney Shannon Buckingham.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. Good morning, everyone. So what I'm going to do is, you probably expect, I'm going to ask you those questions to make sure everybody's able to follow my instructions. I'll go a little bit into our schedule, and then we'll return to the evidence on this case. So, first question, has any member of the jury read, seen, heard, or overheard anything from any source that would affect your ability to be a fair and impartial juror in this case? Last question is there any other serious matter or concern bearing on your service as a juror in this case that anybody needs to bring to my attention at this time? Again, thank you so much for following those instructions. Again, as I always say, I hesitate to give you the schedule because I'm, probably 50% right, 50% wrong. But the intention today, the thought is we'll probably go most of today. All right. And then at the end of the day, before I send you home, I'm going to talk to the lawyers, kind of see what the schedule is for next week so you can plan as best you can. And also kind of see where we are in regards to the timeline and the estimate of the case. So I'll try and give you as much of that information today before I send you home. All right. So with that, I will return to the case on trial. Commonwealth, call your next witness, please.
So they're going to go all day today.
Commonwealth would call Kimberly Hardy as witness today.
Okay, you guys are in charge. I'm jumping in the shower really quick.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning. Stop right there. Read the clerk.
Good morning. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony and the evidence you shall give to the court and the jury, the matter now coming between the Commonwealth and the defendant class, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may have a seat.
Watch your step, please.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to ask you to keep your voice up as best you can and speak into that microphone, okay?
Okay.
All right, that's good. All right, come on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you please introduce yourself to the jury, spelling your first and last name for the record?
It is Kimberly Hardy, KIMBERLEEHARDY.
And what city or state do you currently live in?
Cypress, Texas.
And back in 2023, where did you live?
Brockton, Massachusetts.
And in 2023, where did you work?
Kingsbury Club.
Where is the Kingsbury Club?
In Kingston.
And how long did you work for that club?
4 years.
What is the Kingsbury Club?
It is a tennis club, but it also has like a gym. It's kind of like a Y where people can come and drop their kids off in the playroom and stuff like that.
Okay, is it a private facility?
Yes.
So members only?
Yes.
And you mentioned dropping kids off. What was your role at the Kingsbury Club?
So I was the child service director, so I ran all the kids programming and the playroom.
So what is the playroom at the Kingsbury Club?
So the playroom is a room where parents can drop their kids off for 2 hours a day so that they can work out.
And what's the procedure when a parent or a guardian drops a child off at the playroom?
We have our system where we sign them in.
And that's something on the computer that logs when the child comes in?
Yes.
And it also logs when the child leaves, correct?
Yes.
Now, what's the protocol for who can drop off and pick up a child at the playroom?
So parents, usually we say whoever drops off should be the one picking up as well, unless the parent notifies us that another parent will be picking up.
And as far as that system that you have to log the drop off and pick up, fair to say that system is geared towards the guardian who drops off and picks up.
This
Correct.
is
So
Court
it's a separate
TV
log
on
for
YT.
each child based on who the guardian is.
Yes.
Now, what is the security like?
Dog.
You familiar with some members using like a scan app to sign in? And as far as where the playroom is in the club, where is it in relation to kind of when you come in the front doors?
It is right to the right. There is a long hallway, and at the end of the hallway, that's the playroom.
Now, is there kind of a rule there at the Kingsbury Club when you drop your child at the playroom that you have to remain on property?
Yes.
And other than the gym and the tennis courts, what other facilities are on property?
We have a pool and a spa.
I'm going to draw your attention to, one more background question. You mentioned that there's other programs that the Kingsbury Club runs for children, right? And you as the child service director were involved in that?
Yes.
Is there a particular age that the children can start participating in the other group activities?
Camp starts at 5, and at that point, too, we had tennis that started at 5, but swim lessons can start from babies.
Okay, and so is there an age limit to the kids that could be in the playroom at any given point?
Typically, we only take 3 months old up to like age 10. Normally, they don't want to be in there.
And then you said that the time limit is 2 hours per day.
Yes.
Is there a schedule or sign up in advance, or was there one in 2023 if a member wanted to bring their kid into the playroom?
Yes, but in 2023, parents normally didn't sign up in advance because we were just getting back from COVID and we had low numbers, so we just took walk-ins.
And it was a first come, first serve?
Yes.
Are you familiar, or were you familiar with Cora and Dawson Clancy?
Yes.
Did you often see them in the playroom at the Kingsbury Club?
Yes.
And who would be the party that would drop them off and pick them up?
Mainly Patrick.
Did you or were you present in the playroom when Lindsay Clancy at times dropped them off and picked them up?
Yes.
And when Lindsay Clancy came to drop off and pick up the children, did you interact with her?
Yes.
And how would you describe her demeanor during those interactions?
She just seemed very shy.
Maybe just to focus on the time frame.
Well, that's fair. I'm going to draw your attention to maybe the September of 2022 to January of 2023, that fall into the winter. Did you see Lindsay Clancy drop the kids off at the playroom during that time period?
Yes.
And you had the occasion to interact with her? And during that time period, in the fall to winter, what were your observations of her demeanor?
She just seemed shy. She was just, we'd come in and pick up. I would usually try to start a conversation with her, but nothing else. Yeah, just shy.
Okay. And it was only Cora and Dawson that came to the playroom?
Correct.
Were you aware that there was a third child?
Yes.
And do you know of any reason why that child didn't come with the other two?
I asked a couple times because I said that he can come in because he's over 3 months. And the answer was because they were scared of sickness.
I'm sorry, was he just? The answer was. You could just find out.
So
I mean,
this
that
conversation that you had when you said that
reasonable.
you asked about Callan, was that with Lindsay or Patrick?
Lindsay.
Okay, and so what did she tell you about Callan?
She was nervous about colds because it was cold and flu season.
Okay, and so obviously when Cora and Dawson came, there would be other children in the playroom as well, right?
Yes.
When Lindsay would drop the kids off during this time period between September of 2022 and January of 2023, did she ever tell you what her plans were at the club?
No.
Did you see or make observations of how she was dressed when she dropped them off?
Yeah, she had workout outfits on.
And would she come back before the end of that 2 hours to pick the kids up?
Yes.
Did you notice anything different about her when she came back to pick the kids up during this time frame?
No.
Was she ever late picking them up?
No.
Did you ever learn that she had left the property after bringing them to the playroom?
No.
And that is a very strict rule at the club, correct?
Yes.
Do you recall the last time that you saw Lindsay Clancy and Cora and Dawson at the Kingsbury Club?
Yes.
Do you recall approximately when that was?
In January.
Would it have been closer to New Year's or a few weeks into the month?
I think it was a few weeks in.
And how is it that you remember them on that particular day?
Just their usual selves. They came in, played, nothing.
Okay. If I tell you that Cora and Dawson were dropped off by Lindsay on January 13th at 9:07, does that sound right to you?
Mm-hmm.
And that they were also dropped off on January 17th at 9:30 a.m. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Did Cora and Dawson usually come
Yes.
around that time? And what time does the playroom open?
We open at 8.
And what time does it close?
It closes at 2.
Did you ever have occasion to see Cora and Dawson in the playroom during that time, September to January, later in the afternoon?
Sometimes, not usual.
Is it fair to say that generally when Lindsay dropped them off, they came in the morning?
Yes.
And is there anything about that day with Cora, that last day that you saw her, that sticks out in your mind?
Not that I recall.
What kinds of things would the kids do in the playroom?
They liked to color. They would play with the dolls, dress-up toys, the cars, the train set.
And on one of those last days that you saw Cora, did she draw a picture?
Yes.
Did she take it with her, or did she give it to you?
She left it.
Your Honor, at this time, I would move to admit the Kingsbury Club records as the next exhibit.
All right, they may be admitted.
Exhibit 218. Thank you. Nothing further.
Thank you.
All right, counsel.
Morning.
Good morning.
So you saw Lindsay with her children, dropping them off, picking them up on a fairly regular basis. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Patrick, of course, right?
Yes.
Did you ever see how she acted around them? Did she appear to be, happy to be with them and take care of them, or did she appear to be angry with them or at all?
No, never angry. She seemed happy to be with them. She always picked up on time, and they were always excited to see her.
And you certainly weren't close enough to her to know if she had any personal issues in her life as far as, like, her mind or her body or anything like that, right?
No.
You would be aware, though, that on occasion people are advised by their doctors or psychiatrists to exercise. It might be a good thing for them to do. Is that?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Any redirect?
No, thank you.
Thank you. You may step down. Thank you. All right, Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth would call Sarah Carney, please.
Good morning, ma'am. Stop right there. Raise your right hand.
Good morning. Do you solemnly swear that the relationship with the court and the jury in the matter of punishment?
Watch your step, please.
From sunbeds and spray tans to red light therapy, infrared saunas, and more,
Palm Beach Tan has everything you need to see yourself in a new light. But don't take our word for it. Stop by and try your first month free.
And the last name?
Carney.
And what city or town do you live in?
Duxbury, Massachusetts.
And are you married?
Yes.
And who's your husband?
Kyle Carney.
And do you have children?
Yes.
How old are your children?
5 and 2.
Do you know the Clancy family?
Yes.
And how do you know them?
Went to school with Pat and then met Lindsay later.
And so when you say you went to school with Pat, fair to say you went to Salve?
Yes.
And did you know Pat before school?
No.
And did you become friends with him in school?
Yes.
When you graduated from college, did you remain friends with Patrick?
Yes.
And is your husband also a friend of Patrick's?
Yes.
Did they meet at college or just someplace else?
In college.
At some point, did you come to know Lindsay Clancy?
Yes.
And do you remember approximately when you were introduced to her?
A few years after college, maybe 12, 13 years ago.
Okay. And where were you living then when you first met her?
Boston?
Okay, how about Pat? Was he living in Boston as well?
I believe so.
And what was your relationship like with Patrick after college? Were you close?
Yes, friends. Close.
And as he began a relationship with Lindsay, did you become friendly with her?
Yeah.
Did you have that same relationship with Lindsay that you had with Pat?
No.
As time passed on, did your families remain friendly?
Yes.
And eventually, both your families ended up living in the same town in Duxbury, correct?
Yes.
What was the relationship like between your families starting in 2019?
Close, friendly, went to the beach together, had them over at our house, went to their house, that kind of thing.
And as the Clancys start having children and you started having children, did that remain throughout?
Yeah, probably fewer times, just because we're all busy, but yeah.
And were you around after each of the Clancy children were born? Meaning after Cora was born, you were still part of Patrick's life?
Yeah.
Did you notice any changes in Lindsay after Cora was born?
No.
And how about Dawson? When Dawson came along, did you notice any changes in Lindsay after Dawson was born?
No.
And then Callan, who was born in May of 2022, were you still friendly with them and still doing those trips and going to each other's houses,
Yep.
beach trips?
Yep.
So did you notice anything different about Lindsay after Callan was born?
No.
Do you recall observing Lindsay or seeing Lindsay when she was pregnant with Callan?
Yes.
Fair to say she was a pretty active person.
Yes.
And even in pregnancy, being very pregnant, she was physically active.
Yes.
Do you recall what kind of exercise she did or seeing her exercise or?
I remember her posting videos of her exercising and the kids were in the background.
And where would the exercising happen? Could you tell where it was in their house?
I'm not sure.
Have you been inside their house before?
Yes.
So you know that they had the living room area on the first floor and basement area was
After
finished?
Stu moves the living room, I've never been to the basement.
Okay, so what did you observe the kids doing in the background?
Playing on the couch, playing with toys.
And when you observed this video, fair to say it was kind of like a beach body type exercise?
Sure. I'm not sure what that means.
Did you see any equipment in the video, like workout equipment?
I don't recall.
Do you recall previously indicating that you saw the kids playing with exercise bands in the videos?
Sure, if that's what I said. I don't recall.
Now, I'm drawing your attention to the summer of 2022 and the fall of 2022. Were you still going to the beach and getting together with the Clancys?
I believe so, yes.
Other than going to the beach, what other kinds of activities would you invite them to do with your family?
They probably came over to our house once or twice.
Throughout the course of the fall of 2022, did you notice any changes in Lindsay's physical health?
I think I saw her one time at drop off, and she just seemed thinner, more frail.
I'm sorry.
Thinner.
Okay. Did you ever have a conversation with her at drop off about your observations?
No.
How about just observing her overall demeanor? Did you notice anything change about her in the fall into the winter of 2022?
No.
Did you ever have any conversations with her about postpartum depression or sleep issues?
No.
And I'm going to draw your attention to January 22nd, 2023. That was a weekend. Do you recall that weekend?
Yes.
And did you have something happening at your house that your family invited the Clancy's to?
Yes, we had a bonfire.
And who came from the Clancy family to the bonfire?
Pat, Lindsay, Cora, and Dawson.
Where was Callan, if you know?
At home with Lindsay's parents.
Did you have the occasion to speak with Lindsay on that day?
Yes.
And fair to say, prior to that day, you hadn't really seen her much that winter?
Correct.
Were you happy to see her that day?
Yeah.
And what were your observations of her that day, her demeanor? Did she seem normal or off, or?
Just quiet, but fairly normal.
Did you have the occasion to speak with her, just you and her?
Yes.
And was that outside at the bonfire or somewhere else in your house?
In the kitchen.
And did you ask her anything?
I was talking to her about my daughter's allergies, and then the conversation lulled, and I asked her how she was doing.
And what did she tell you?
Good.
And did you have any further conversation or ask any follow-up questions?
No.
Why didn't you follow up?
Because I figured if she wanted to explain or deep dive into it, she would. Wasn't going to press her.
But on this occasion, she just said fine, and you kind of moved on to the next topic?
Yes.
And throughout the course of that day or that afternoon that you were with her, did you notice anything change about how she was communicating with you? Like, did she start to talk faster or seem confused in any way?
No.
Was there anything that happened at that interaction that made them abruptly leave?
No, I think it was like nap time for the kids.
Okay. And was that the last time you saw or talked to Lindsay?
Yes.
Nothing further, thank you.
All right. Mr. Reddington?
Morning. So, what was the time frame that you knew Lindsay, not Patrick? I know you were very friendly with Patrick.
Yep.
What was the time frame that you knew Lindsay?
12 years.
And would you say that you were close to her, or were you social, or how?
Social.
Social.
Yep.
And on occasion, you had the opportunity to be in their house, the upstairs portion of it that you indicated, never in the basement or the office area, right?
Right, just the kitchen level.
Okay. Can you tell us, like in the fall of 22, approximately how many times you and your husband Kyle saw Lindsay and her husband Pat together? Not Kyle with Pat or you with Pat.
I think it was just the one time at drop off.
One time at drop off. Okay. You had occasion to ask her advice about the babies and things of that nature on occasion, did you not?
Yep.
She was always helpful to you or forthcoming?
Yes.
And this, the last time you saw her on January 22nd, this was a bonfire, is that what it was?
Yep.
And that was where, in your backyard?
In our backyard.
Was it in the daytime or the nighttime? And Kellen was home with her parents, right?
Yes.
And she appeared to be quiet to you?
Yes.
And she appeared, to your observation, around that time frame to be thinner than what you had seen before.
Yes.
But you'd agree with me that you guys weren't that close that she would confide in you, correct?
Correct.
That's all I have. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Any redirect?
As far as your observations of Lindsay over the course of 12 years, fair to say she was always quiet with you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You may step down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth would call Aaliyah Goodhart.
Good morning, everybody coming in.
Good morning. Y'all, she got another stupid bow on.
What color is it today?
That's what I'm trying to look at. BRB.
Okay.
Okay.
Good afternoon. You solemnly swear that the testimony of the evidence you shall give before the jury, no matter no party between from and law, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And you have received.
Watch yourself, please.
All right, good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
All right, I'm going to ask you when you sit down if you speak loudly so the jury can hear you and speak into that microphone. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Counsel.
Thank you.
Goat
Good
said it's a
morning.
black one.
Good morning.
Could you please tell the jury your first and last name?
My first name is Alia. Last name is Goodhart.
Can you spell your first name for the record?
Alia.
And your last name, please.
Goodhart.
And what do you do for work?
I'm a psychiatrist.
And can you tell us a little bit about your educational background to be a psychiatrist?
Anybody hear her last name? Good-hearted.
I got my medical degree from the State University of New York in Brooklyn, the Health Sciences Center, and I came to Boston to do my 4-year residency at the Harvard Longwood Psychiatry Residency Program. I also trained for an additional 3 years at the Boston Psychoanalytic Institute and got my advanced training I attended the advanced training program, and
Are you licensed here in Massachusetts to practice as a psychiatrist?
I am.
Are you licensed in any other states?
No.
So you said that you're a medical doctor with a specialization in psychiatry, correct?
Correct.
Can you tell us a little bit about your work history in that field?
Yes. I've worked in several different settings. When I first started out, I was working at Beth Israel in integrated care, which means essentially that you work with primary care physicians, and if they have patients that they have questions about, they can consult you. And if there's a need, you can continue to manage the patient's psychopharm medications. And if it's simple, they can continue to do it, but you're available for them to consult with and to discuss cases. After that, I went to Emerson Hospital, where I worked on the inpatient psychiatric unit for a total of 9 years. I left for 1 year to be the medical director at another freestanding hospital. After that, I worked at the women's prison in Framingham for 1.5 years. And after that, an outpatient clinic affiliated with Tufts. I had a private practice for 2 years, and then I've been working at McLean for the last 5 years.
Okay. And what is McLean Hospital?
It's a freestanding psychiatric hospital that is part of the Mass General Brigham system.
What kind of services does that facility offer to patients?
They have, lots of services, including inpatient, outpatient, substance abuse, trauma-focused. There are lots of specializations, eating disorder programs. They have residential programs. They have partial programs. So there's a really broad width of.
And what is your role at McLean?
I work on one of the inpatient psychiatric units.
And tell us a little bit about what an inpatient psychiatric unit is.
Patients who come to our unit are referred to us by the emergency department because it's been determined that they need inpatient level of care. You can come voluntarily, or you can be sent involuntarily. And once you arrive, we work with the patient until they're for a certain period of time, which isn't predetermined. It is flexible, so it depends on what's going on. And when you're on an inpatient unit, it's not just that you're seeing the psychiatrist, you're working as a team. So there are nurses, there are mental health workers, there are social workers. And the way it works at McLean is that every day you have a meeting where people discuss what's been going on, and you share any information that you have, and you know that kind of guides treatment. It's if I'm on the unit while I see the patient, I'm not there 24/7, but the mental health staff and the nursing staff are there, and they contribute to the assessment of the patient.
So in that team approach, when you have mental health workers, nurses, social workers that work with you, there's, fair to say, some combination of that team present all the time.
Yes, there are 3 shifts, and each shift has mental health workers and nurses.
And in that team approach, sometimes particular members of that team may have direct contact with the patient, correct?
Absolutely. Each shift, each patient is assigned a mental health worker and a nurse. They're offered a check-in, which is basically time to sit and talk about how they're doing and what's going on, and if they're upset or distressed. And so, there is documentation of that, and that happens on a regular basis.
And even when members of the particular treatment team don't have direct contact with a patient, they're still there and observing what's going on, right?
Correct.
And are they trained to do that?
Absolutely.
And so even if they don't have a conversation with somebody that's documented, they're still observing to be able to report back if there's any concerns that they observe during any given shift. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that the inpatient unit at McLean, that they come from the ER departments of the surrounding hospitals?
Yes.
So you can't just walk in?
Not at McLean.
For the inpatient, in any...
Right, correct.
Okay. And so oftentimes when a patient comes from the emergency department or is referred over there, how do they get there?
They have to be sent on a Section 12 most of the time. Well, then it doesn't make sense. So they're usually sent on a Section 12, especially if they're going to be sent in an ambulance. And then when they
snap a photo, list your item.
Oh, I hate these commercials.
Easy. Once it sells, the buyer covers shipping.
Tell us what a Section 12 is.
A Section 12 is basically a doctor or social worker or psychologist states that you are being referred to a hospital for admission because you have a mental health condition.
And the Section 12 could be something that the patient voluntarily elects to do, right?
That's a Section 10. The Section 12 is it means that you have to go there. If you go there and they evaluate that you're fine and you decide you don't want to be at the hospital, you can choose to leave and they'll have to let you go.
So when you say that a person comes transported from an ER on a Section 12, they also can come transported on a 10 as well, a voluntary?
A Section 12 is required for transportation because in the time between when they leave the hospital and they're supposed to get to you, you want to make sure that something could happen and then they could leave. So you want to make sure that the physician sees them at that end and then somebody sees them at the other end to ensure that something hasn't changed. So it's evaluation.
Okay. And at the emergency department, there is a particular type of evaluation that's done before somebody is sent over to McLean, correct?
Correct.
From the Mass General, what is that usually referred to?
It's called the acute psychiatric consultation, APS. No. So the service is acute psychiatric services, and it's an evaluation. So it's a complete evaluation by either a nurse practitioner or a psychiatrist. and they go over things like, why are you coming now? What is your history? Have you ever had problems before? What's your family history? They document how you're presenting. They inquire about symptoms, and that's how they find out what medications you're on, and then based on that, they decide whether you need, there could be several options. They can recommend inpatient treatment. They can recommend partial hospital program, but the patient doesn't have to do either. If they're not, unsafe, they can choose to leave. But most of the time, people take the recommendation and they've presented because they are seeking help.
And unless the patient is deemed unsafe in that involuntary realm, it's their choice.
Correct.
Now, you mentioned that when they come to McLean, that they first come through and have a CEC. What is that?
It's a clinical evaluation center.
What happens at that stage at McLean?
They're seen by a psychiatrist, and there's a nurse as well. They review the history that was obtained at the emergency department, and they inquire about they actually do another evaluation, just like at the APS, basically reviewing all the history, but also asking their own questions. And if they have any concerns, they document them there.
And you said this evaluation is done by a psychiatrist?
Correct.
And when a person comes into McLean, can they come at any hour of the day or night?
Correct.
And when they first make it to the clinical evaluation center, they're always seen by a psychiatrist.
Yes.
Now, once they do this evaluation, gather all the information, do they also do kind of a physical exam to make sure that there's no medical issues to address?
Yes.
And after all the information is gathered, what is done at the evaluation center?
So they basically enter the order. May I have some water, please?
Oh, sure. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, my fault.
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. When a patient is evaluated or seen in the clinical evaluation center, what happens after the evaluation's done?
So they determine the level of checks that the patient should be on once they get to the unit, because there are several units. There are at least 4 inpatient units. They decide what medications the patient is going to be able to get, until they are seen by a psychiatrist on the unit.
And when you say level of check, what does that mean?
Everybody who is on the unit, there's a mental health worker assigned the task of ensuring that all the patients who are supposed to be on the unit are present and that they're safe. And the lowest level is 15-minute checks. If there's concern about somebody, it goes up to 5-minute checks. And if they're extremely unsafe, it goes to a 1-to-1.
And what does 1-to-1 mean?
There would be a staff person with the patient at all times.
And again, this determination of which unit to be on and what level of security or what level of check is done by the psychiatrist that performs that first evaluation.
Correct.
Now, when a person who comes through the CEC then gets sent to the unit, do they walk to the unit on their own, or how do they get to the unit?
They're escorted to the unit.
And you said there's 4 inpatient psych units, is that
correct?
Now, when the person arrives at the unit, what happens?
They're seen by a nurse and a mental health worker. Their belongings they go through the belongings to ensure that there's nothing unsafe. There's certain things that are not allowed on a psych unit. The nurse reviews their history and takes some vital signs, sees if they need any medication, and then they show them to their room and the unit.
And again, people come through the CEC at all hours of the day and night, correct?
Yes.
So this whole process is pretty seamless and could happen at any point.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned previously that the length of stay or how long a person is on the unit or inpatient varies, right?
Yes.
Is there any sort of minimum that's required when a person comes in for an inpatient stay at McLean?
No.
And if they are voluntarily there, can they leave at any time?
As long as the psychiatrist and the team assesses them and determines that they don't pose an imminent risk to themselves or anybody else.
Now, what if they're there on a Section 12? Is there a time limit or a minimum amount of time they have to be there?
She wasn't there on Section 12. She was on a voluntary.
We haven't gotten there yet. I'm just asking background questions about the facility.
I'll allow some background questions, but let's kind of move it along.
So Section 12 entails that that the team and the psychiatrist has 3 days to evaluate the patient to determine whether they pose a danger to themselves or others. And if at the end of that time they do determine that the person poses a risk, then they have to apply for commitment, which would mean going in front of a judge who would decide if the patient should remain hospitalized or be discharged.
And if at the end of the 3 days you deem them to be safe, are they allowed to leave?
Yes.
And is there something in the field of psychiatry or in your training and experience in your time at McLean about being discharged against medical advice?
He wasn't discharged AMA.
All right, well, I'll allow the set really the terms and where we are, so you can go into that.
AMA is not applicable.
If we can approach...
Yeah, I don't think you heard me.
I did hear you.
All right, well then, I'm going to allow that question.
Whenever I snap my receipt and fetch after shopping,
This
I am
judge
rewarded
has had enough.
instantly.
He's like shaking
Hello,
his hand
free
at
gift
him.
cards.
3 words.
I wish I could show this
driver
live, guys,
reports.
but I can't because I get taken down every time.
Concerned about somebody's safety, we would not discharge them.
So you have another procedure available to you if you were concerned for somebody's safety?
Yes.
And that's the procedure you described about seeking an order for further commitment?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Now, when a person comes and goes through that process and is placed on their unit and settled in, what is the plan after that? How often do they see providers?
They're assessed by a psychiatrist every single day that they're there. They have nurses who are checking in with them, mental health workers. They're offered group programming and medical monitoring, vital signs. Yeah.
What types of group programming are offered to people while they're inpatient at McLean?
We offer skills groups, which are things like they're meant to teach patients skills so that they can tolerate distress, they can kind of observe their thoughts. It's meant to shore up their skills. Then there are some groups which are more just relaxed, I guess, such as going for fresh air walks or going to the recreation center, just drawing or coloring, and yeah.
And are there other things offered to patients once they're on a unit to assist them in their care, like counseling?
Yeah, those are the check-ins, and when they meet with the psychiatrist and the social worker, the counseling happens in those sessions as well, and also by the nurses and the mental health staff.
Okay. Now, does this procedure, or how it operates for any given patient, does it change if there's a holiday or a weekend?
I think they're still seen. They're still seen by a psychiatrist.
She's thinking if she knows, I have no objection. I'm going to object to the way she's answering that.
All right. She is Why don't you rephrase the question?
I will, thank you. As far as your experience at McLean Hospital, is there, does the schedule change when there's a weekend or a holiday?
The group schedule might change, but the staffing schedule doesn't change.
So the availability and the mental health worker that sees the patient, the social worker that checks in, and the psychiatrist and nurse, the team all stays the same even on a weekend or a holiday?
Other than the social worker.
Okay. And when I say stay the same, it could be different individuals, but
Correct.
it's somebody from that group, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So as far as your role as a psychiatrist, how do you get assigned patients when they are admitted to McLean inpatient?
It's random. There are beds that are open, and I carry a certain number of patients, and other psychiatrists have a certain number of patients, and whoever has an opening gets the admission.
Do you have to be there when the patient is admitted to have the patient assigned to you?
No.
And so do you rely on other psychiatrists to perform those tasks before you meet a patient?
Yes.
I'm going to draw your attention to a particular patient by the name of Lindsay Clancy that arrived at McLean in the early morning hours of January 1st of 2023. Do you recall that patient?
Yes.
Have you had the ability to review the records related to that patient prior to coming in today?
Yes.
And do you know where she came from?
The emergency department at MGH.
Okay. And did she come voluntarily or did she come on some sort of section?
Again, for transportation, it's always a section, but then she's signed in voluntarily, which is the section 10.
Okay. So to your knowledge, she was brought in the early morning hours via ambulance.
Correct.
And did she go through that process of the clinical evaluation center in the early morning hours, approximately 4 a.m. on the 1st?
Yes.
And who saw her there?
I think the psychiatrist's name was Dr. Outlaw.
Okay, and you're familiar with Dr. Jasmine Outlaw?
I've never met her.
Okay, but she is a psychiatrist on staff.
I don't know what you mean by on staff.
Well, she works at McLean.
Correct.
And so you were able to review the information she gathered in that first evaluation.
Yes.
And in reviewing that information, did you identify that the patient was identified as medically stable, right? Meaning she didn't have any acute medical issues that you had to worry about?
Correct.
And she was screened on the suicide screening?
Correct.
What was the chief complaint of the patient when she arrived at McLean?
She was unhappy. She was finding it hard to sleep if she didn't take medications.
Okay. And do you recall reviewing in the records that it was noted that she reported that she felt numb?
Yes.
And that she was having some issues managing medication?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, that she had some complaints about side effects or symptoms of medication?
Yes.
Now, when the psychiatrist and the clinical evaluation center gather the information, fair to say that it's primarily based on what's reported to the doctor by the patient?
Yes.
At McLean, do you have access to a patient's full psychiatric history or all of their records from other places?
It depends where the patient is coming from. I think that Dr. Outlaw did take an excerpt of the APS evaluation that was done at MGH, so I assume that she had access to that.
I'm sorry. Assumptions?
I mean,
I
she
can
would
ask
have
it a
had.
different way.
She doesn't know, she doesn't know.
Yeah.
Right?
As far as the full record of this particular patient that you were assigned to and responsible for, you reviewed all of the notes and information gathered by Dr. Outlaw on that first interaction with the patient, correct?
Yes.
And you indicated a little while ago in your testimony that McLean is affiliated with the Brigham Hospital and Mass General. So is it fair to say that those records from Mass General are available to you at McLean?
Yes.
And again, you indicated that that APS evaluation is something that's done at the emergency room, right?
Yes.
And is it common that that information come along with the patient?
I don't know.
No, good. Just if you could answer that. You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, next question.
In this instance, when you reviewed the records, were you aware or did you see that there was some note to the APS evaluation from the Mass General ER?
I saw the excerpt of the APS evaluation in Dr. Outlaw's note.
Okay. And that excerpt from the APS evaluation was conducted by somebody by the name of Dr. Hogan, correct?
Correct.
And did you review a portion of the record indicating that the patient said to Dr. Hogan or reported thoughts of wishing to be dead but no plan?
Yes.
And that there was no violent or homicidal ideation, right?
Yes.
And that there was observed at Mass General to have no evidence of psychosis, mania, obsessions, or current anxiety symptoms.
Correct.
So that's information that you knew before you met with the patient.
Yes.
Honestly, I can't find the Western person.
Just real quick for everybody in the chat, I'm not showing the video today because every time I do, I get knocked down and then we don't even get to listen to it. So I'm sorry in advance, but this is live. You can see it on Court TV on YT. And yes, it is live. And I'm sorry that I can't show the video.
I'll be right back.
There's a lot of
Okay.
Of Ms. Clancy.
She was continued on the medication she was admitted on. You know, the plan, they do the checks, they decide what medical monitoring you need, but she basically was admitted and the medications were the same.
And what was the security level, or how long were the checks assigned to her after this evaluation?
15 minutes.
And was she considered to be a high risk upon coming into this inpatient unit, or was she minimal risk?
Low. Minimal, yeah.
And were you aware of what's called the provisional diagnosis that was assigned to this patient when she arrived?
I don't recall what the provisional diagnosis was, but I do know that they do assign a diagnosis. I don't recall it. I must have seen it in the records, but I think there are like 5 different diagnoses.
Sorry.
Just referring to what's already been marked as Exhibit 79, I'm going to draw your attention to page 24.
Thank you. Right. Okay, I think I remember. Yes.
Okay, does that refresh your memory as to the provisional diagnosis?
Yes.
And what was it?
Major depressive disorder, severe without psychotic features.
Now, what does the provisional diagnosis mean to you when you're assigned a patient?
That this is the assessment of the psychiatrist who saw her at that time.
Do you have to stick with that diagnosis, or are you free to change that based on your experiences with the patient?
The diagnosis I give the patient is dependent on what my interactions are and the observations of the team.
Now, for this particular patient, Ms. Clancy, on January 1st, when she got situated onto the unit after that first evaluation by Dr. Outlaw, are you aware that she was then seen later in that day on January 1st?
Yes.
And were you the doctor who saw her, or was there somebody else?
It was a different psychiatrist.
Okay, and who was the psychiatrist that saw her on January 1st?
It was Dr. Madva.
And that would be Dr. Elizabeth Madva?
Correct.
Again, is she a psychiatrist as well?
Yes.
And so this occurred while you were not in the hospital, right?
Yes.
And were you able to review the notes, the admission notes of Dr. Madva regarding her interactions with this patient on January 1st at approximately 12:47 p.m.?
Yes.
And again, as far as these interactions go with the patient and the psychiatrist, it's more of a conversation, right?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Yeah, it's a conversation when you meet with a patient.
Yes.
You ask them how they're feeling, get information that you think is necessary. Is that fair to say?
It's a conversation, and also you gather information.
Okay. And so, do you rely on things that were reported before?
Yes.
Okay. But you also ask follow-up questions, right?
Correct.
And as far as your review of Dr. Madva's interaction with Ms. Clancy on January 1st, is it clear to you that she did that?
Yes.
You reviewed her history with her and spoke with her about how she was feeling?
Yes.
At the time she spoke with Dr. Madva, you're aware she said that she denied feeling depressed and denied any passive death wishes or suicidal thoughts, but reports feeling numb.
Yes.
She reports she can't feel any emotion other than mild anxiety at now being in a hospital setting.
Yes.
Okay. After Ms. Clancy was seen by Dr. Madva, were you aware of what the plan was regarding her medication?
Yes.
And what was the plan?
Ms. Clancy complained, there were several symptoms. One of the things that she did complain about was the numbness, and Dr. Madva did, hear that and hear her concern, and that she had been sensitive to many different medications, so she
well, let me ask, if I can ask a question.
Finish with your answer.
So she determined that it was possible that the numbness the patient was complaining of was a side effect of the medication she was on, and the plan was to taper that medication and observe the patient to see whether the numbness went away, and also if any other symptoms became evident.
So the medications, you were aware of the medications that Ms. Clancy came into McLean on, right?
Yes.
And what medications were those?
Seroquel at 100 milligrams a day, Valium, 2 milligrams. I don't remember the frequency. I think it was per day. And
again, we're going to let her finish.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I have no problem if she looks at the record.
Yeah.
So Seroquel, Valium, and Benadryl.
Do you remember or do you recall Remeron being one of the drugs that were described or reported by Ms. Clancy? When she came in, that she reported taking Remeron?
In the past, yes.
Okay. And again, in that report from the patient about past history, do you recall her indicating that one of the providers had suspected a bipolar disorder?
Yes.
In your interactions with Ms. Clancy and your review of the interaction she had with other psychiatrists, did she appear to agree with that diagnosis?
Did who appear to agree?
Ms. Clancy.
Rephrase that question, please.
Ms. Clancy, she disagreed with the diagnosis.
Okay. The fact that she came in and she was on 100 milligrams of Seroquel or more, would that have been something that was significant to you in considering a bipolar diagnosis?
Seroquel is used for several purposes. It is not just used for bipolar illness.
Okay, and Ms. Clancy also reported coming to McLean issues with insomnia, correct?
Yes.
Is Seroquel sometimes used in low doses to address insomnia?
Yes.
Now, as far as the plan from January 1st, you indicated that Dr. Madva recommended reducing the Seroquel and then monitoring symptoms, correct?
Yes.
Okay. you aware that Ms. Clancy saw Dr. Madhva again on January 2nd?
Yes.
And again, that was prior to your first point of contact with her.
Yes.
Beta test Domino's new app, and you'll get paid $5 towards next week's order.
What if the healthcare system worked as one? Payers, providers.
On lesser dose of Seroquel.
Yes.
Did she report any delusions, hallucinations, or suicidal or homicidal ideation?
No.
Okay. And as far as after the check-in with Dr. Madhva on the 2nd, was the plan to continue to decrease the Seroquel?
Dr. Madhva was going to continue her on 75 milligrams, and then the next day she would have gone down to 50 milligrams.
And on these first few days that Lindsay Clancy was at McLean Hospital from January 1st until you actually saw her on January 3rd, you're aware that in addition to seeing Dr. Outlaw at the intake and Dr. Madhva on 2 occasions, on the 1st and the 2nd, that there were also notes in the record for you to review from nurses who interacted with her on January 1st at 5:20 a.m., right?
Yes.
From nurse January 1st at 6:28 a.m.
Yes.
A nurse interacting with her on January 1st at 10:34 a.m.
Yes.
And that she actually participated in a group activity with a social worker at 12:03 p.m. on the 1st.
Yes.
And that a nurse interacted with her and made notes at 2:07 p.m. on the 1st.
Yes.
And that she saw a mental health worker at 9:33 p.m. on the 1st.
Yes.
And in relation to January 2nd, a nurse made note of interaction with her on 9:46 on the 2nd, right?
I remember there were interactions. I don't remember the exact time.
But fair to say on the 2nd, she interacted with nurses and Dr. Madhva.
Yes.
Based on your review. Now, going to January 3rd, that was the first face-to-face contact you had with the patient, correct?
Yes.
Prior to meeting with her, had you reviewed all of these notes and all of the information up to that date?
Yes.
And did you go through, a report of history with her?
Yes.
Were you able to make an assessment of her mental status during that interaction with her?
Yes.
And what were your observations of her mental status?
I can remember certain elements, but I don't remember. She was dressed in, she was appropriately dressed. Her speech was of normal rate and volume. Behaviorally, she was polite and cooperative. Her mood, I don't remember exactly. It's a quote, so I don't remember exactly what she quoted her mood as being. It would be in the medical record.
Yeah, 1 moment. I'm just going to approach, if that's okay.
Yeah. And just so the records are Exhibit 79?
Yes.
All right, so those records, you'll have those with you. Okay.
So I have both pages 61 through 66. So I think that's your note. If you can just take a look at that and let me know. Does that refresh your memory as to what your observations were of her mood?
Yes.
What was her mood?
Anxious.
Okay. And did you observe signs of anxiety, or did she tell you that she felt anxious?
She appeared anxious.
And her affect, did you observe it to be congruent to her mood?
Yes.
And you you examined her and found her to have linear thinking and appear goal-directed, right?
Yes.
And as far as addressing kind of why she was there and what your recommendations were, ultimately, what were you trying to address or accomplish in the treatment plan with Ms. Clancy?
That's a very broad question.
Okay, I can break it down if that's okay.
Yes.
So as far as once you had a chance to sit and talk with her, what did she identify to you to be her main concerns that she wanted to address during her stay at McLean?
She did not want to be dependent on an antipsychotic medication, which is what Seroquel's class is, even though it's used for insomnia and other indications, depression. She didn't want to be dependent on Seroquel to be able to fall asleep.
Okay, and so fair to say she was very concerned about wanting to sleep at night.
Yes.
And she was very concerned about her symptomology, or what she was experiencing by way of symptoms from various medications, right?
Yes.
And that concept, or the phrase numbness, did she use that a few times?
Yes.
And again, you mentioned Dr. Madhva was concerned about the numbness with the medication. In your experience with Seroquel, is that also a common side effect for people to feel numb?
It can be one of the side effects that people can have.
Okay. And as far as the suicidal statements that you were aware of from the prior reports, did you go through that with her about whether she presented to you with suicidal ideation?
Can you ask me that again?
Sure. Did you talk to her about her thoughts of suicide?
Yes.
And did you talk to her about whether she had any specific plan?
Yes.
Did she have any plan?
No.
Had she reported that she had ever had a plan for suicide?
No.
And did she tell you there were reasons why she thought she wouldn't commit suicide?
Yes.
And what were those reasons?
Her children and her family, her mother.
So after this face-to-face interaction with her and kind of going through her history and having reviewed what you had, the information you had about her, what did you develop as a plan for her while she was at McLean?
I continued with the plan to taper her off Seroquel and to monitor whether her symptoms improved, but also to see if she could sleep while she was off of Seroquel. And to really observe symptoms and mood.
During this first interaction with her, was there any conversation about how long she would stay or what her plan might be after she left McLean?
When we met the first time, Lindsay said that she had her daughter's birthday coming up on the weekend, and that it had been planned months ahead of that date, and she was hoping that she could be there that weekend so she could be with the kids and family who was going to come for the birthday party.
Now, the concept of kind of tapering her off the Seroquel and monitoring her symptoms, did that seem like a realistic goal to you?
Yes.
And now, after having spoken to her and developing this plan, were you also cognizant or thinking about the potential for a bipolar disorder diagnosis? And so how did that affect how you approached this plan to taper?
At Cheddar Scratch Kitchen, every day we're cooking up American classics and home-style comfort food. Come see why our chicken...
Observing for any symptoms that would indicate that she might have bipolar disorder.
And where she had reported that she had issues with sleep, was that also something of concern to you if there was the potential for a bipolar disorder?
Yes.
And reduction of medication. What was the concern for the sleep?
I think people's mental health is negatively affected if they cannot sleep, whether it's bipolar disorder or depression. And so sleep is important.
Okay, and so a person that you might be considering for a bipolar diagnosis would lack of sleep make you watch for symptoms of hypomania?
Yes, sleep deprivation can lead to a bipolar episode, a hypomanic manic episode.
So you wanted to monitor her patterns in her sleep and her mood to see if there was any evidence of that, correct?
Yes.
In this first interaction where you identified a plan, did you also make a suggestion about a particular medication that she might consider after the Seroquel had been discontinued?
Yes.
What was the alternative medication, if you will?
It was Cymbalta, which is an antidepressant.
And was that something that you intended to prescribe for her while she was there, or was it something that you suggested that she could consider as an outpatient?
It was just a consideration. It would depend on how she was doing after she was off of the Seroquel.
Okay. Now, what about the Valium? Was there a plan to address tapering or weaning her off Valium or an alternative to Valium?
Yes, I switched her from Valium to Ativan.
Okay.
Because it has a shorter half-life. And, in my experience, it manages anxiety well.
And were you aware that she had taken Ativan before?
Yes.
And did she report any concerns about Ativan or benzodiazepines in general?
Yes.
And what was the concern she reported to you?
She stated that her husband had concerns about her being on a benzodiazepine.
During this interaction with her on the January 3rd, did you observe any signs of psychosis?
No.
And in the notes and the interactions with the providers prior to your meeting between January 1st and January 3rd, did anyone ever note any symptoms or concerns for psychosis?
No.
And you're aware that Ms. Clancy was also still in that what was considered the postpartum period, right? She had a child in May of 2022.
That's a tricky question to answer because different organizations or agencies assign postpartum a different length of time.
Okay, and so in your training experience and your experience as a person who diagnoses,
yes.
Did you consider postpartum as part of what you had to figure out here with this patient? Or was it really not a consideration?
It was.
Okay, and why was it for you?
I mean, she had a child, and the risk of postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis is a serious consideration.
Okay. Now, after this first meeting with Ms. Clancy on the 3rd, were you able to give her, in your own opinion, a diagnosis?
Yes.
And what was that?
You said after the 3rd?
Right.
Okay, so that would mean one meeting.
Yes.
I gave her a diagnosis of insomnia with a mental health condition because one day of observation wasn't sufficient for me to figure out if she truly, to give a solid diagnosis because it sticks with the patient.
Right. Fair to say you just didn't have enough information at that point.
Correct.
Okay. again, you saw her on January 3rd, and that was approximately 9:15 a.m., right?
If that's what it says. Yeah.
Well, if I, at the top of your inpatient progress note on page 61 of the exhibit, if I say the data service reads 1/3/23 at 9:15, would that be where you would note the time you were scheduled to speak with the patient?
Yes.
Okay. And you're aware that on that same day, on January 3rd, that in addition to meeting with you, that she met with a social worker at 10:07 a.m., right?
Yes, the social worker and I would have met with her together.
Okay, but then the social worker would have their own note if there was any interaction that they were noting, and also a nurse as well.
Yes.
Right? And that on the 3rd, that Ms. Clancy participated in a group at 12:02 p.m., correct?
Yes.
And engaged with a mental health worker at 12:22 p.m., right?
I do know that she engaged with the mental health worker. The times are not something I recall.
If I indicate that the records show she did another group at 2:36 p.m., would that sound right?
Yes.
That she then declined a group at 3:50 p.m.
Yes.
And then saw another mental health worker in the evening before presumably she went to bed 8:52 p.m.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see her on January 4th?
Yes.
And so again, is this the same same protocol? You meet, you talk, you discuss. Did you talk to her about how the previous night's sleep went?
Yes.
And how was that night's sleep?
She reported sleeping well.
Well?
I don't remember the exact words, but she said she slept. And
okay.
Yeah.
And do you remember having a conversation with her again on that day, January 4th, about going home?
Yes.
And what did she say about that?
Originally, I think we were thinking, we had talked about discharge on Friday, and she stated that she was anxious being in the hospital, and that she wanted to be discharged so she could be home with her family and her children.
And so did she ask to leave earlier than Friday?
Yes.
And when she asked to leave earlier than Friday, what was your response to that?
Whenever I said she could leave provided she had psychiatric follow-up the next day.
And why did you do that?
I wanted to ensure that if she wasn't able to sleep that night after discharge, that she could speak with somebody about it so that they could come up with a plan to ensure she could sleep and to monitor how she was doing off.
Okay, guys, I got to get out the door for work, but you guys can go to YT and just plug in Court TV. This is so interesting. I want to hear the rest later. Sorry I can't stay on.
Okay, thank you.
All right, but work calls.
All right, have a great day at work, all right?
Okay, you too, babe. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.